When I first moved here to Colorado, the problem was I didn't qualify for any state services. I went from a very good income to nothing.
And the living cost is rising so rapidly, it's really hard. Sometimes you have to decide, and either it's going to be health care or you're going to pay a bill.
And we live very close to the school, and I drove her every day. And maybe if I had the money, she still will be there. But I don't have the money, so I have to look for a good school.
It was a case of domestic violence, and I left my husband with my daughter, and I obviously have full custody, and so we came to Colorado for a new start. Going from making a good, solid middle-class salary to nothing suddenly opened me up to some resources in the state. There were things like CCAP, and they jumped in and were so pleasant to deal with and were willing to help me because I had no money coming in to pay for my daughter's daycare, which they did in the time that I've been looking for a job. The cost was definitely a factor. I had to start over financially, I had to get a job, I had to find daycare for my daughter, and I never expected to have to get daycare, so it was a whole learning process. Like, how do you choose one? You know, how do you choose one you can afford? While I'm trying to get a job, where am I going to live? The first daycare that I found was really just babysitting. So after that, I really started hitting the pavement and interviewing different educational-based daycares. And I really was drawn to the Montessori program because it's all about play and fun and experimentation. And so that really connected with me in a way that makes me feel safe and good about the fact that I have to spend the entire day away from her. And then I personally found a wonderful organization called Mile High Montessori. My daughter Isabella is my favorite person to spend time with, absolutely. She's a delight. She's, in a moment, can light my day up the way nobody else can.
I-S-A-B-E-L-L-A.
Give me 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Her and me. You and me.
She was going to a Catholic school, and we ran out of money, so she has to go to a public school.
I was really distracted and I didn't pay attention a lot. Everyone was doing their own thing. They weren't like really paying attention to the teacher, so I drifted away from that. After I went to a summer prep, it changed because I have a lot of expectations and I didn't want to like lower myself, so I wanted to be above all that. So I started paying attention more. I'm nervous for high school a little bit because I really want to get good grades so that I can get into a good college. My friends, they really don't even care. They'd rather be outside instead of trying to do their best on their homework. That kind of shows what you're going to be doing. Instead of like working at McDonald's, you can be working as a lawyer, and they really just don't care. Planning to go to college so that I can have a good career and that I don't struggle in life. So like if I have a family, I can provide and have them be happy so that I just don't struggle. I think the charter school had something to do with my opinion in like a lot of ways, because the teachers, they're always telling us like, oh, just do it right, you know, you can do it. Like, they're encouraging us, they're motivating us. I feel lucky that my mom cared so much.
We really want her to go to college, and it is something that I can do. Like, I have to find a job so she can go, because they have those tools right here. Instead of having your tools in your hand, sweeping, preparing hamburgers, things like that. It's a very, very big choice you have to do.
Sometimes my Elliot and my mom take me to a doctor.
We've been living in Denver all our lives, especially around the neighborhood of Inner City Health Center. That's where we live, that neighborhood. And my kids all go to the Inner City Health Center. We do not have health care coverage at work, so my kids have the CHP plan plus. That's how they get it covered. The CHP plan is a insurance for people that do not have insurance or cannot afford insurance for their children. Depending on their income, that's how we apply for them to be covered with one type of insurance.
My accident involving my left wrist was a bike accident. I accidentally was running a little too fast and didn't see something on like a little hill, and my bike flew forward, sending me over the top of the bars.
Because the way he was reacting, it was like in a lot of pain. So yeah, I realized we needed to go and get it seen. I just needed someone to see my son.
Well, right now I'm fully healed. A little pain in my wrist. When I went to Inner City Health Care, they treated me basically they treated me really well.
About 3 weeks ago, I took my son, Roberto, in because he was not feeling well. The insurance was not affected. The front desk said, well, you know, we can't be seen. My pediatrician, a volunteer doctor that was back there, he came up and he says, I'll see him, you know. I'm going to see him still. He's one of our patients and he's going to be seen. Inner City Health Center is a really good place. I mean, doctors and volunteers are very good people. I mean, they're very caring, compassionate. There's not many places like that will take you in without having insurance and being seen.
I'm Alfie and Tonk.
If we don't give these kids proper tools to make a better future for them and us, we're headed for disaster.
I want to give the opportunity to my kids, the opportunity that I didn't have when I was growing up.
Education is very important to me. I really don't want to be looked down at. I want to be like someone people can look up to.
We can't just vote for somebody and expect them to do all the work. We have to ensure that the work's being done and being done to the best way possible for us and our children.